welcome to Brew TV, your one and only beer and brewing TV show located right here in Perth. Every week we'll be exploring the world of beer and brewing in Western Australia, from the home brewer to the professional breweries and everything else in between. And for you cider drinkers and ginger beer lovers, we'll also include you as well. So here we are at the Sail and Anchor in Fremantle, and tonight we're going to talk about cider. Now, here's a lovely little cider here. It's a locally brewed cider, and a lot of the cider and beer manufacturers are starting to develop a lot more ciders for West Australia. We're in a great climate, and the cider is just a nice, refreshing brewed beverage. Same as beer, it's brewed in the same manner as beer. It's also brewed in the same manner as ginger beer. But it's a little bit sweeter. Some of them can be quite dry, but it's the apples. And then you've got Perry, which is a pear cider. So the pear flavours really come out, and it makes a really refreshing drink. So when it comes to cider, a lot of us have probably been put off in the past with some of the very sickly sweet ciders. They were mass produced using a lot of essences and also a huge amount of sugar. Nowadays, a lot of the brewers are actually making cider in a way that has been traditionally made. 100% apples crushed, so you're getting the juice, you're also getting the benefits of the skins of the apple and also the cores and things like that. So the skins and the pips and the core, they can impart some acidity and almost like a hop in the way that it can make it not so much bitter, but it just takes the edge off the sweetness. So there are a lot of good ciders in WA. This one here is from Mash. Fantastic. Well, they're actually southwest and also the Swan Valley. And we've also got Core Cider and the Cidery down in Bridgetown, who are our main producers of the ciders. There are some of the breweries, Matzo's for instance, they're doing some amazing things with ciders as well. Where did it all start? Well, basically the cider was a cheap drink to be made for the peasants, to be working in the fields of European countries like France and also England. The cider was just basically collected apples off the ground, and I could probably say it was pretty disgusting stuff in those days. Wild fermentation happening, very cloudy. Here, this one's certainly has been filtered, but you can also get some of your very cloudy ciders and even your scrumpy ciders, which are quite a strong, very dry cider. So if you like your beers, but you want to try something a little bit different, still in the brewed category, try some of those ciders. They make a refreshing change. Cheers. Okay, so you want to make your own cider? It's very easy to do these days. As you saw a couple of weeks ago with Mark down at the home brew shop, you can buy kits. And they are literally just apple concentrates with some of those sugars and also some of those apple essences, just to give it a little bit more apple flavour and aroma. How simple is it to make? Very simple, exactly the same as the home brew, the kit and the kilo method. You can go even simpler. You can go to the shops, you can buy your 2 litre, 3 litre bottles of apple juice, as long as they don't contain any of those preservatives, so it's got to be preservative free and ideally 100% apple juice. That way, when you add the yeast isn't going to die from those preservatives, and there's nothing else in there that can potentially taint the flavours. So what do? You literally add the apple juice to your fermenter, and then you can go and buy a specialty cider yeast from most of the home brew stores, or as in my case, I tried it with the champagne yeast. Now, that certainly works. However, I've almost made an apple wine because my percentage is sitting at around 16% alcohol. So, a very strong, but still a very tasty cider. If you want to get into a little bit more complex flavours and into more detail, just go down to your local your grocers, your fruit supply place, and just buy the cheap apples. Pink Ladies make an absolutely fantastic apple cider. Granny Smith's will impart some of that tartness and the more drier flavour, and you can literally put them through a juicer. If you can get hold of an old grape crusher or an old apple crusher, even better. And you're then now making apple cider in its true form. So give it a go. It's certainly worthwhile trying, and it's a lot of fun. We're down here at the Monk Brewery and Kitchen with head brewer Paul. So Paul, tell us a little bit about the brewery here.
My brew house is a little 600 litre DME kit, very hands-on, nothing's automated on this kit.
Yep.
I also have 1200 litre tanks. I'm always doing 2 brews to fill up one of my tanks.
Sure.
A lot of hard work, but it's obviously worth it for it in the end.
So true craft beer.
Yeah, I guess I can say
getting your
probably,
hands on it and true craft.
It's very hands-on, 120 to 150 kilos of grain going in at each time, hand mashed, so
fantastic.
Keeps me somewhat in some sort of shape, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's
absolutely. And there's a bit of history to these tanks.
Yeah, funny enough, this is the original nail kit that John started back in 1999 up in Bobby Dazzler's. So we were lucky enough to secure this kit about 4 or 5 years ago. So it's what started the Monk. And I was
going to say, so a little bit of craft brewing history from WA is still going strong. And basically in one of the true craft breweries of Perth.
And there must be something special about it because winning a lot of awards with it. So John did a great job, Justin himself did a great job, and we haven't done too bad in the last couple of years. So
fantastic.
There must be something magical about it.
That's great, that's great. So what's on tap at the Monk at the moment? You've always got your regulars?
I've got 7 core range beers. I've got a mild, which is my mid-strength, a Kolsch, an Australian style pale ale, Belgian wit beer. Then I get into my Rauch, which is a smoked Bamberg beer. Chief, which is our American IPA, started to win the best awards for us and getting a bit of recognition. And then my dark porter, so nice, just easy drinking porter, introduce people to dark beers. And then whenever I've got myself a free tank, I might do something a little bit crazy. So at the moment we've got our coconut stouts on at the moment, which is just a little bit different. Yeah, just for winter. Something that Steve and myself dreamed up when we first started here a couple of years ago, and we thought, why not? We'll give it a crack, and it's become a bit of a cult beer that everyone wants it. And we've had to brew it every year since. So
fantastic. Okay, I'll be trying that one. And also, we've got a little bit of footage from the judging of the WA Amateur Brewing Competition. And I believe the Monks had a lot to do with that over the years as well.
Yeah, lucky enough we secured last year that whoever won the highest beer or the best beer in the show, we were going to invite them to come down here and get to brew it on a commercial scale. Last year the winner was a robust porter, so it was an absolutely beautiful, big, rich, dark beer, which is perfect for the time of year that we put it on.
Right.
And then hopefully again this year we'll do it again with one lucky winner.
Fantastic.
Not sure what the beer is yet, but I look forward to hearing what it is.
There was, I think from memory, there was about 203 beers being judged. So yeah, fingers crossed to those amateur brewers out there. What a dream.
Yeah.
I mean, to come and brew your own beer, amateur beer, in a professional brewery and actually serve it to the public.
I think it's pretty special.
That's
so we're happy to do it.
You're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thanks, man.
Paul.
No worries.